I've been really thinking hard in my mind who the next character will be in Smash in case it's not Travis Touchdown, because a big part of me actually thinks it might not be Travis Touchdown. Now, why do I think it might not be Travis Touchdown after I've been so gun-ho and so focused on Travis? Well, part of that is because he's only had two games and both were only on the Wii. Of course, one of them, I think, actually, I'm not sure if No More Heroes 1 and 2 both made it to PS3, but I know at least one of them made it to PS3. I honestly can't remember if both did. Either way, it's only two games, and it's not to say that a character with only two games can't get in, because hello, Splatoon exists, and honestly, it got in, and it was probably planned to be in before Splatoon 2 was even a thing. But Travis' latest and newest game was just Travis Strikes Again on the Switch, and it was basically just a, whatever random, it was basically just like an arcade style, like Xbox arcade game, because it was like a cheaper game with a lower budget, and you could tell in its playstyle, and a lot of that game was more about like the story and stuff like that. Not to say it's a bad game, but I'm thinking maybe he'll have a better shot when No More Heroes 3 comes out. But No More Heroes 3 is in development, so I don't know. Travis is one of those cases where I'm really gun ho on him. I really think he has a super, super strong chance. And if it's not him, then I have really no clue who it will really be. Because this next character I'm about to say is someone who I really would be shocked if it was her. But at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked too hard because this is a beloved character. Quite frankly, it would be kind of weird, but at the same time, we're talking about Travis Touchdown, who is another anime sword character. Not that I care, and I don't think it should matter, but we could possibly have a lot more variety in this other character. Now, you guys are going to have to bear with me here because I've actually never played one of these games other than, well, a more recent one that's actually has nothing to do with the same franchise, as this is it's hard to explain without just saying who the character is, but it is, of course, KOS-MOS from Xenogears. Now, here's the thing about Xenogears. You might say, Xenogears, that sounds like a Xenoblade. Well, KOS-MOS actually is connected to the Xenoblade stuff in some way, and what I really like is that in Project Cross Zone 2, a character from Xenoblade, the first one with Shulk in it, actually does appear alongside KOS-MOS as her partner. But sadly, most of my experience with KOS-MOS comes from playing Namco Cross Capcom, which never even came out in America. I just played it with an English patch. And Project Cross Zone, which is the unofficial sequel to Namco Cross Capcom, with the difference being is that they also added Sega to the mix and streamlined a lot of the gameplay, and for the better, in my opinion. And KOS-MOS is in all three games, and that's mainly how I know her. Of course, I also know her thanks to my friend who, growing up, actually did play the Xenogears games on PS2. I don't really keep in contact with that friend because he's much older than me, mainly because he's actually my older brother's friend. I just spent a lot of time with my brother and him at the same time, but I haven't seen that guy in a long time, and quite frankly, I don't really know. I've never even all the gameplay and stuff I've seen of KOS-MOS has been mostly on YouTube, just kind of preparing for what this video could possibly be. But also, she apparently had a cameo appearance in Soul Calibur 3, but it was very untraditional. For those of you who didn't know, for those of you who think KOS-MOS is like basically a literal Who character, I will say that KOS-MOS is very beloved in the JRPG circle of fans. People do love Xenogears and Xenoblade, and they really do love KOS-MOS. KOS-MOS is definitely a popular character amongst fans. She's kind of got a cult following, which means does deserve some recognition and some representation. But another thing about KOS-MOS is that, yeah, she's actually in Soul Calibur 3, but only on the PS2 version. You see, Soul Calibur 3 is a game that everyone says doesn't have a cameo character. It doesn't have a cameo character because there was 3 for Soul Calibur 2, and then there were exclusive Star Wars characters for 4, and then after that they did the whole thing where every game on every console gets the same character. So Ezio is in every version of Soul Calibur 5, and Geralt and 2B are both in Soul Calibur 6. And of course, we should also mention that on the PSP game, Kratos is in that one. So don't just count out Soul Calibur on PSP. I already forgot what it was called, but it was called like Broken Destiny or something like that. But yeah, apparently on the PS2 version of Soul Calibur 3, if you unlocked a bunch of costume pieces, and it was only on the PS2 version, you could get literally like the ability to make a perfect replica of KOS-MOS. Of course, it was only her costume, so you'd have to do the face and stuff yourself, and they didn't really have like anime style faces in that game, so you couldn't really make KOS-MOS perfectly, but you know, the best you could do with that art style, which was kind of cool. Before I go ahead and start talking about what KOS-MOS could possibly play like, I do want to mention she was actually added in as part of the DLC for Xenoblade 2. She's actually in the game. Xenogears characters in Xenoblade. And she's one of the Blade characters in Xenoblade 2. Not in Xenoblade 1, but Xenoblade 2. There's like characters who are like humans who have weapons, and there's characters who are blades who kind of like power them up. Like, for example, Mithra and Pyra are both blades, right? So you can make it so KOS-MOS can be a blade, which is really freaking cool. Great cameo, great, cool, perfect idea, because she fits in with that universe so well, because Xenoblade has like the same style that Xenogears has already. And so, like I said, as far as her actual games go, I've never played a Xenogears game, but from what I can tell from the gameplay, I mean, it's turn-based combat and it looks pretty good, and the combat or the graphic style is kind of weird. It's not really cel shaded, but it's like 3D anime style. For those of you who played like DBZ Budokai 1, that's what it kind of reminds me of. Kind of weird. I bet you if they did a new game, like basically she's in Xenoblade 2, right? And she looks really freaking good in that game. So, but yeah, I mean, that game has like full animated cutscenes. It's not like a visual novel style game like some JRPGs take the lazy route and do stuff like that. So it has like really good looking cutscenes. It was that PS2 era where graphics were pretty good, but cutscenes were still pretty easy to make, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I was basically, from looking at it, it seems like a game that would have been up my alley. That I'm surprised that, like basically, if one of my friends or like my older brother just really wanted it and bought it, I probably would be a fan of Xenogears. Like it just seems like something I would like. And that alone kind of gives me this worried feeling that Sakurai has probably played it and probably likes it, because it seems like every game I like, Sakurai also likes. When you look at the guest characters, it's really no wonder. Like all those characters are all like really good fits for Smash, and it seemed like something that Sakurai would like. Besides maybe Banjo, but I mean, he plays 3D platformers, and maybe he went back and played the game just to learn about Banjo. I don't know if he's ever talked about playing Banjo back in the day, but he seemed to know quite a bit about Banjo, so I'm glad. Whatever the case is, I'm glad. Now, as to how she could possibly play, again, I don't know much about KOS-MOS, but I will try my best. From what I remember from Project Cross Zone, and from what I'm seeing from some YouTube clips, KOS-MOS has some blade-type weapons like swords, and she also has lots of built-in guns. She also has like boosters and stuff like that. So her recovery could be very easy to do because she could like fly with like a jet booster. Her special attacks could easily be different ranged attacks, different weapons like bullets and guns. She also, when she fights, sometimes in cutscenes, she'll just straight up punch people. So there's definitely like, as far as like what the moveset could be, well, she comes from a JRPG game, right? So there's already animations made for moves, kind of similar to how Cloud works. So easily there could be attacks there for physical, for her A attacks and her special attacks. There's definitely going to be a lot to draw from that. And to me, it's not a question of like, will she be fun? And to me, it's already like, of course it will be. Of course she'll be a good character. Like, to me, putting KOS-MOS in is almost a no-brainer. With the only like reason why I'd be a little worried is because this is supposed to be a DLC character that people are supposed to be hyped for and they're supposed to pay for. I kind of feel like the only reason people even have Terry is because they already bought the full fighter pass, or because some people just want every possible character. And I mean, I don't blame them. When it comes to Smash, I don't care if I know the character or not. I just want every character. So far, I've known every character. KOS-MOS is a character that I don't know as well, but I've always known and I've always respected, mainly because I like the concept of her. I like the idea of like a robot character. I mean, I like Mega Man and I like 2B, so like, why wouldn't I also like KOS-MOS? Like, come on. It makes a lot of sense when you think of it like that. And, frankly, I think, one of my friends who plays Smash, he's very, very good at Smash, but he didn't want to play Smash when I first got Smash 4, and I was trying to get all my friends to play Smash 4 with me all the time. A lot of my friends didn't want to keep playing it all the damn time. Like, I would play it every time they'd want to come over. And part of how I got him into playing was he likes Fate. He likes, like, Fate Zero and Fate Unlimited Blade Works and all that stuff. And I showed him Lucina, and I said, look, it's a girl with a sword, just like Saber. And he got really attached to Lucina, and now he's very, very good at Smash, and he plays at locals, and he uses Lucina. It's the only character he's, like, super good with, but yeah, he uses Lucina. And sometimes you just need a cool-looking character with a good design, and that is enough. And that will make people interested and say, oh, I want to know more about KOS-MOS. And what if Namco does something with KOS-MOS again later? Like, right now, obviously she's a cameo in Xenoblade 2, but what if all this new, what if that love in Xenoblade 2 led to more people loving the fact that KOS-MOS is in the game? And to me, KOS-MOS is a super iconic character, mainly just because the fans have really kept her alive in my eyes. And then also, again, she's one of my, in Project Cross Zone, it's like a tactical RPG, like a turn-based, or not, like, well, it's turn-based, yeah, but it's like a strategy RPG. It's like, it plays like Fire Emblem, right? And you get a lot of different units, and I try to use the units I just like from the actual games they're from, because it is a cameo game. But I really liked KOS-MOS in both games. I even liked KOS-MOS a lot in the first game when she doesn't even have a partner. And the reason why is because she's always really powerful and just has really cool looking attacks. I mean, the whole point of her character, she's just a fucking all-out war machine type robot. Think of, like, Aegis from Persona 3. Like, it's just a fucking insane killer robot chick. And I mean, what's not to love about something like that? She's also not a very emotional character. She's more about, like, being logical. So sometimes she's kind of stoic. And I really like that kind of design. In a lot of senses, she kind of reminds me of Rei from Evangelion. For those of you who don't know, Sabi's profile picture is Rei from Evangelion. Of course, now he has his own, like, fan art, but he still uses Rei. And, you know, Rei is, like, got, like, ice blue hair, and she's got, like, a white, like, suit on, like a white, like a pilot suit on. And KOS-MOS is kind of like that. She's got, like, this white robot suit on, and she's like Rei, but she has a long hair instead of short hair. And I mean, to me, again, it's like sometimes the design is just good like that. Another thing about KOS-MOS that some people might not know is that she actually has an evil version. I don't know, remember this character's called. I'm sure people who are actual fans of Xenogears will get mad at me or whatever, but there's actually a dark version of KOS-MOS who, again, I don't know the story context at all. All I know is that they're enemies in one of the Xenogears games, but in Project Cross Zone, they actually fight together side by side. Again, I don't know the exact explanation for why they fight together in Project Cross Zone. I don't know if they become friends at the end of Xenogears. I don't know if it's a spoiler, but they do have very similar attacks and powers. Basically, it could be an Echo Fighter like the Dark Samus situation, but I don't think they would do that because putting KOS-MOS in is already kind of crazy enough. But it could be something more like how Bayonetta has a costume that makes her look a lot like her friend John. So maybe it'll be like that, where her second costume, or one of her costumes, will be a costume that is a callback to that character. It'll make her skin dark tan instead of, like, the really pale white, because she really does look like Rei. She's got, like, that really pale white skin with the light blue hair and the red eyes, sort of like an albino look, but in anime form. And that's how she looks. And then the second, the evil version of her has, like, blonde hair, tan skin, like red eyes still, but she wears, like, all purple instead of white. It looks really freaking cool, actually. I really like both versions. And it would be really cool to see that character represented with KOS-MOS as well. Sort of like, how Dark Samus is in the game, or Dark Pit's in the game. They were both color choices for Pit and Samus in previous games before they were added in. So, I mean, having her in would be really... that would be a cool option for KOS-MOS for one of her costumes. KOS-MOS would be a character who I don't think would have alternate costumes. While Joker and Hero got alternate costumes, I thought they were going to keep doing alternate costumes, because Corrin has an alternate costume, Bayonetta has an alternate costume, and Cloud has an alternate costume. And then when Joker and Hero had alternate costumes, I thought, like, it was a no-brainer. And I thought, well, okay, Banjo won't have one because Banjo never really had one anyway. Banjo's like always worn the same costume, but they had an opportunity with Terry. People were saying, which alternate costume will it be? Will it be a girl version of Terry, or will it be the older version of Terry where he wears his jacket? And they decided to go with no alternate costume for Terry. So even though KOS-MOS has had different designs, I would be, it's like I wouldn't be shocked if she had two costumes that were different, sort of like how Zero Suit Samus has like two costumes that are different. At the very end, they're just like, instead of having like four of each, she has like two at the very end that are like very different than her like normal Zero Suit. And that could happen for her, but Joker's the same way. Joker has like 6 costumes in his trench coat, and then he has like 2 in his school uniform. So she could be like that. I could see that happening, but for me, she's got such an iconic design that there's no reason why they really need to do anything else. Like that normal iconic design would be perfectly fine for Smash. As far as stages go and music goes, again, I don't know anything about the series, so this is where I can't really contribute much. This video is more just trying to make people aware that this is a possibility and that I kind of fully support and back it. My only main concern is if it's a good idea to reveal her at the Game Awards, but to be completely honest, what I'm putting forward is Travis Touchdown, and they're kind of like, well, I think Travis might be slightly higher up on the more recognizable levels. I don't exactly think that she's too far down below him. I mean, I think people know who KOS-MOS is, man, and I don't know. It could be the whole thing of this is their last character. Like, they already revealed everyone else. And I mean, imagine if they imagined Terry at the Game Awards. Like, no one would have popped off or cared at all. Now, would they care for KOS-MOS? I don't know. But that's kind of how I also feel about Travis Touchdown. And I'm kind of at the point now where I think that no matter who the final character is, it's probably not going to be as big as some of the other characters we've had so far in the Fighter Pass. So it could be big, it could not be big. It just depends on who they already decided who the final character will be. Of course, we still have another wave coming, but that wave, I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're being honest with us, where they're saying they are working on more characters after these first 5. But as far as like Nintendo picking the characters, if Nintendo picked Terry of all characters, remember, Sakurai, yes, he is the one who said it's possible or not possible to Nintendo. Basically, Nintendo didn't get all the say. If Nintendo said, Sakurai, if you can't do this, then we won't do it, they approached Sakurai with Terry. And Sakurai said, yes, we'll do Terry. But to me, that means they'll probably have approached him with KOS-MOS as well. Especially if KOS-MOS is Xenoblade 2 DLC. Are you kidding me? Of course KOS-MOS is fresh in their minds. Just like Terry's fresh in their minds, probably thanks to all those SNK games on the Switch. Game Awards are Thursday. We are very, very close. Now, if you watch Papa Gino's video and if you watch a few other people's videos who are talking about this stuff, you might have also seen that there is a leak that says that, and this was like from a long time ago, that KOS-MOS would have been one of the characters in the first set, and then they said that that Ryu Hayabusa and Reimu are both in development for the next set. Now, to be fair, there has been a leak for Ryu already, and a leak for Reimu already. So those aren't exactly those choices have some sort of like, he might have taken those leaks that could or may not be fake and using them. So Reimu had a leak suggesting that someone was working on putting music in for Smash. Now, the thing about Reimu is that Reimu is like not the least popular character ever. In fact, I'd probably wager more people know Reimu than KOS-MOS in the West. Whereas in the East, people definitely know they know who both KOS-MOS and Reimu is. So to me, I think Reimu has a total shot. She's from a bullet hell shooter style game. I mean, Toho is like the bullet hell shooter. After like nowadays, it's the only one that's like recognizable and has characters that everyone knows. Reimu is not nearly as unrecognizable as you might think. Now, Reimu is a character that might be better for assist trophies, but at the same time, could you imagine Reimu as a playable character? Like, holy shit, there's so much potential with a character like that and all those bullet hell abilities. So I mean, I would fucking love that character. And like honestly, I want that so bad. I honestly want that more than so many other characters. The only character I probably want more is like Geno. But it's, again, I don't even like play Toho that much. It's just one of my best friends is really obsessed with Toho games, and he's the one who showed me what the Toho games were in high school. And I just think that I don't even know, man. Like, I feel like he would just like kill himself. Like, I feel like he would just like explode basically if Reimu was announced for Smash. I feel like he would just like, his brain would just literally explode. And I'd be happy for him, but also I just think the character would be really fun and cool in Smash. And I think it's cool that I got a lot of characters that I really wanted, and this would be cool for other people. So yeah, let's see Reimu. But Ryu Hayabusa is a character I predicted. I made a video for him like right after Joker came out. The reason why was because I talked to my brothers. I was hanging out with my brothers like around Christmas time, and I was thinking about how Team Ninja does so much for Nintendo, like, and how the Warriors games, just there's like 2 Warriors games for Nintendo properties with Hybrid Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors. It just made me really think, like, there's a chance that Koei Tecmo might get a character in the game, and if they do, it would most likely be Ryu Hayabusa. Quite frankly, I would be super happy if Ryu Hayabusa got put in, mainly because I'm a huge fan of Dead or Alive, the fighting game. But the funny thing is that if Ryu Hayabusa was put in, he would be funny because he's in all the Dead or Alive games. It'd be like he's in like basically all of them, yeah. And he's such an important character in that franchise, but it's also, that's not his game. His game, like, that's Kasumi's game. His game is Ninja Gaiden. And Ninja Gaiden, there's like 3 of them on the NES that play completely differently and absolutely nothing alike to the 3D hack and slash games that came out later on the Xbox and later on everything. So what I'm saying is that those characters could be possible for the next wave, and I mean, I think that's completely fine. So this leak involving KOS-MOS has some credibility. I think it all checks out. The only thing I'm really saying here is to keep in mind that, again, these leaks kind of both existed for a while. Like, they kind of exist besides him also leaking it. So like someone said that Ryu Hayabusa was going to be in the game. They had like valid information that Ryu Hayabusa was coming, and maybe, he said it was gonna be the next character, but he is probably wrong about that because he probably doesn't understand the way the timeline works. And that's kind of how I feel about it too. I think a lot of people don't understand, like, when they get new information, they think it means something significant. And like when we got those leaks about Doom Guy and Geno, like if those characters are possibly coming to Smash, that was a very like plausible leak, one that like really made a lot of sense. But because like the video kind of is very believable. But at the same time, if those leaks are real, it's got to be in Wave 2 somewhere. So, I mean, possibly we know who the next 4 characters are. I mean, that's a possible reality. And we'll know once, if KOS-MOS is revealed, then we have to keep those other 4 in mind. And we might not see those other 4 till later. So it might be a while before Wave 2 comes out. I don't think Wave 2 is going to come right after the end of Wave 1. I think we're going to have to wait a little bit before the next wave comes out. I mean, honestly, it's quite possible that we might not get to see a new character until E3 or something, and they'll say, oh, another character is finally coming, or maybe like a March Nintendo Direct, for example. But it probably might be a little bit before we see the next character for Smash after KOS-MOS. So once we see KOS-MOS, guys, or whoever the 5th character is, Travis Touchdown or whoever, we'll have to see if any of these other leaks are real. But I'm kind of taking them with a grain of salt and saying, well, it doesn't really matter if they're real or not, because like I don't know. It just none of them have like super concrete proof to me. The only thing to keep in mind is about KOS-MOS is that someone who leaked that something about Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC and the fact that Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC, They also said KOS-MOS will be revealed at the Game Awards, and those other two things have been correct. There's a lot of other things they named that will be announced at the Game Awards. So if some of those other things are announced, that kind of will point us in the right direction, get us all ready to say, oh, KOS-MOS is probably happening. So we'll see. I don't know. But so far, they got the whole Horizon Zero Dawn thing right, and they got the Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff right. So kind of looking like they might know something. But then again, sometimes people, they get leaks that are real, and then they put in other fake leaks at the same time. So I don't know. And also sometimes people get sources from different people, and some of the sources are trustworthy and correct, and some aren't. So again, we'll see about KOS-MOS, but honestly, I would welcome KOS-MOS with open arms. I'm ready for that. It's just a character I kind of think is super, like, I don't know. She's kind of irrelevant nowadays, but I mean, look at so many other. I mean, Banjo is irrelevant nowadays. So, I mean, if Banjo and Terry can get in, I don't know why. No, like, really at this point, what's stopping anyone from getting in? So, I'm kind of all for KOS-MOS. I think it's very likely and very possible, but we'll see. We'll see. Either way, we'll have a good time, right? So. That's all I got for this one. I didn't really have much to say about if KOS-MOS is getting in, but I think it's really interesting, and we'll have to see. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.